Good morning. It is the 7th or the 8th of September 2013, and this is Time to Live podcast with Quad Rev and Vocino Travis. Unfortunately, Travis is not going to be with us today. Scheduling has kind of been interesting for the last little bit. I am one of your hosts, Reverend, and my compatriot Quad.
Good evening.
And welcome to our podcast about anything gaming related. And I want to apologize for the lack of episodes for the last. It's been a month, hasn't it?
Yes, it's been a month.
Ridiculous. Unfortunately, real life kind of reared its ugly head. I had a bunch of stuff coming up in work, and I had a buddy that got back from a combat tour in Afghanistan, and we had a huge family get together for one of those weekends. And Quad, what have you been up to for the last month?
Well, I've moved. I've just started school, and I've been just pretty much acclimating to the new environment and just trying to get along with people and try and find what kind of interesting stuff is around here. And apparently they have a really strong community of board gamers and role players, so I'm not in a bad situation at all.
Well, that's good. Fun. And obviously you got your internet issues sorted.
Yes, I had an issue last week where I had 80 to 90% package loss across the entire weekend almost. So that kind of sucked. Yeah.
Well, good times. Yeah. So, our apologies for the lack of episodes, but hopefully this will be the start of the new batch. Maybe we can call it like season 2 or something. I don't know. People like things to be broken up in categories, right?
Probably. But, yeah, maybe. We'll see. Depends on what I name it.
Season 2 begins, or anyways. Let's get right into it. We've got, unfortunately, not a whole lot to cover because of school on Quad's part and work on mine. We've been kind of out of the loop on a lot of things lately. But Quad, go ahead and get us started on our format.
All right. So, have you been playing a lot this past month?
By playing a lot. I have not. However, I have played one game, and it is the new Splinter Cell Blacklist.
I've seen some footage of that. The multiplayer looks interesting.
I haven't touched multiplayer because, again, I'm not a big fan of, people. But I as a fan of the Splinter Cell series, I have to say, I recommend this one, especially if you had problems with the way that the last one was. Splinter Cell's always been about, being sneaky and trying to find the routes to get around and do it by ghosting, basically. And the last video game that they did, Conviction, just destroyed all of that. You were very sneakily running around murdering everybody, and there was almost no strategy to it beyond who are you going to shoot in what order. And this game, they took that and kind of retarded it a bit. So you still have the option to just go in all balls to the wall, guns blazing, and mow everybody down, but you get bonus points for sneaking your way through it all. And I think that return to the way that it was really, really helped the game out. It the combat was still very smooth and almost predatory, which obviously carried over from Conviction, but the increased stealth aspect to it seems like a return to its roots, and I greatly appreciated that. The only thing that kind of bothered me about it is Michael Ironside, who has been the voice of Sam Fisher since the very beginning, is no longer doing the voice of Sam Fisher. And that sense of connection to the character, like I can see why Ubisoft made the decision to go that way. They wanted to swing it with somebody younger and somebody that could also do the motion capture of Sam Fisher, and so they cast this dude, and he's okay, but it's not Michael Ironside. So there's a little difference there that you got to get used to.
Okay, sounds very interesting. But I probably won't play it because, well, I've not really played any Splinter Cell games. I probably played the earlier ones and just didn't really, enjoy them.
You're not a fan of the sneaky?
I do like the sneaking, but I'm more of a sniper sneaker. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I enjoy in games is sniping, but there aren't really that many games that do it well.
Sniper Elite. Did you ever play that one?
No, but it's too fast paced.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Fast paced Sniper Elite? The one where you would spend 35 minutes crawling down a single street to get into position to take out one Nazi?
Yes.
That's too fast. Well, okay.
It's too fast paced. So yeah, I'm very picky when it comes to my sniper games and sneaky games. Like I didn't play that ninja game. What was it? The 2D one, black and white.
Oh,
Can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I can't think of it either at the moment. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, but I just can't play it. I don't know why. But yeah, let's go through some of my games. I'm not going to go through all of them because I've been playing a lot of different games, but I'm going to do the major ones. So, Europa Universalis 4.
Okay.
It's like Crusader Kings and Europa Universalis 3, and I'm just really enjoying the game. There are some things in the game that they've changed that I'm not too happy with, but I've gotten used to it. So, well, I would say it's a better game than the previous one. So,
Okay.
I would highly recommend for people that have interesting grand strategy war games to play that. Right, what else? I played a lot of Payday 2. I don't remember if it was after I moved here or before. I think it was after I moved here that I played a lot of Payday 2.
Okay.
And that's the you know what Payday is, right? It's a first person heist game.
Oh yeah. The co-op. You're the criminals that are bank robbers or whatever.
Yes, the ones with the clown masks. Yeah, and it was really fun. At least the amount I played, but I didn't play much. I haven't played since like the 20th of August now, so I've had fun with it. One more game I've been playing a lot. Saints Row 4.
Really?
Yes, I have 30 hours in it.
So beating a lot of people to death with dildo swords, I imagine.
Not really. I'm not the person that runs around with dildo swords. I like using different weapons. And since that's a game with superpowers, you get a lot more variety. And I especially like running around the city just jumping and killing people.
Okay.
Yes. Anything else worthwhile to mention? Not for now. There was one more game, a zombie game. Kind of a newish concept that's not been used too much. It's recently actually been released on Steam as well, like yesterday. Safe House Diaries. I think I spoke of this last episode. a zombie game where you have, what would it be? You're sort of you manage how the survivors, well, do things. You set people to tasks like building barricades, going scouting and all that. And it's actually a really interesting concept, and I enjoyed that, but I haven't really had the time to play it recently. I've had other games that have taken precedence. Like today I've been playing XCOM again for some reason. So, yeah.
Speaking of games that you've been playing, have you been doing any actual Let's Playing recently?
No.
Okay.
I haven't found the time to do it. I was thinking as soon as the Cataclysm DDA, the next release comes out, I might do an LP. Well, just one LP of one character or something. I'll see. But as far as I've seen now, they've added tile sets, but the tile set isn't complete. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to when they actually complete the tile set, because that will make the game a lot more accessible to people that don't really want to sit there and just stare at ASCII at all times. So, but I've pretty much gotten used to the ASCII. As I've said before, I don't see the like dots and ats and whatever it is. I see trees and grass and rabbits and squirrels and zombies and houses and whatever. It's how the brain works. You start dissociating the symbols with what they actually are to try and remember.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. That's a good game that I'm looking forward to. So yeah,
right.
Let's keep going, I guess. Featured Let's Player. The one I'm going to mention isn't really a Let's Player in the concept we know them. He does a lot of D&D with, do you know the site Roll20?
I've probably visited it in the past.
It's a helping tool for D&D to play that. You have the rolling, and you have a great system there and all.
Oh, it's a virtual tabletop.
Yes, and so I've been paying attention or watching his Dark Heresy. Warhammer Dark Heresy. Role-playing thing. And that's been really interesting. He also has another campaign running. I'll just mention the name. It's Me JP. If you've heard of him.
Me JP or It's Me JP?
It's Me JP. Yeah.
I've not heard of him, but let's see. JP McDaniel.
Yes, he has had a podcast before, I think. Or he has one? I'm not sure. I've pretty much just been paying attention to his Dark Heresy thing, which I find really interesting. I really want to actually play it in real life as well, but finding a good DM for that would probably be a bit hard. Unless you DM yourself and find players that are interested. So yeah, it's sort of a style of Let's Playing, right?
It seems to be. Just taking a quick look across his YouTube channel. Yeah, it looks to be along the style of a Let's Play.
Yes, he has other people, of course, and he's been doing this for quite some time. So yeah, he has some Let's Plays as well, like of Demon Souls. I'm guessing he has of Dark Souls as well. Yeah. You really should check it out if you have an interest in D&D.
I definitely might possibly get around to it.
Yes, he has a lot of it, so yeah, it's really hard to start on like the first one he started, because that's been going on for like 27 weeks. which is 27 times 7, so approximately 180 episodes times 30 minutes to 50 minutes. So it's a lot of stuff to watch if you want to start from the beginning.
Well, I wouldn't mind it. My problem has just been time. I have not watched a Let's Play video or anything similar for quite a while.
Yeah, I have the same problem. It's just time. So yeah, you were gonna mention something.
No, we can skip that.
Why?
Well, we can. Okay, so
No, go now.
do it now. Do it
Yeah.
now. I must. So there's again, not really a Let's Play, but they used to do it on YouTube and then somewhere else, and then they got moved over to PATV. But extra credits just cropped up into my news circle this morning because of a new kind of outreach that happened. Basically, if you're not familiar with extra credits, they do gaming development and design and pretty much what we do, except they do it in a 5-minute sequence and are a bit more what's the term I'm looking for?
Professional.
Yeah, there you go. Professional. Professional about it. And they cover everything from, you want to be a game designer, how do you play video games, and everything like that. So anyways, check them out. Really, really cool. They're currently in season 6, and every season has at least 10 episodes. They're kind of wonky on their numberings. But this morning they released a new video called Extra History, and in the introduction to it, they announced that they received a phone call, and as they said, probably one of the coolest phone calls they've ever received, from Creative Assembly, who are the makers of the Total War series, specifically Rome and Rome 2. And Rome 2 being released about 4 days ago, called them up and said, hey, we really like what you guys do, and we have some extra marketing dollars left over. So what we would like to do is, instead of buying a couple of banner ads, send this money to you and have you make a couple of episodes just teaching people about Roman history. And you don't have to mention us or the game or anything like that. Just make a couple of videos of teaching Roman history. So, of course, the extra credit guys are like, no, we're totally going to mention you. Why the hell wouldn't we? And they made a 10-minute video, which is about double their normal length. And they're talking about the Punic Wars. And, everybody's heard of the Punic Wars, or at least kind of has seen something related to the Punic Wars in popular culture, movies, video games, etc. But to get the background history on it and find out that the first Punic War, the whole reason that Hannibal is even a popular person or a legendary person, is the fact that his dad was pissed off at his bosses, So in their very comedic and high gloss over manner, they went through the entire first Punic War and the background for it. So check it out. If you're interested in game design or game development or anything, pretty much anything related to games, you can definitely find it there. And highly, highly recommended.
Yes, everyone should watch Extra Credits. And the other site you were talking about, they were at Escapist.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Let's see. Let us discuss what we've wanted to discuss, because it's probably the future of gaming for now, until something else comes along, which is virtual reality, more specifically the Oculus Rift.
Woohoo!
Yes, have you tried it?
I have not.
I have tried it.
And?
It's really freaky. Just try thinking. Let's see. If you well, how would it be? It's like when you're sitting on the chair and you put on the virtual reality glasses, you are suddenly instantly transported elsewhere in your mind, but you're still sitting there.
Okay.
And you're just trying to, when you, like if you're on the roller coaster, which is the thing I tried with the Oculus Rift, you sort of, your brain thinks that you are there. So you start like swaying back and forth when you go there, and you look down when you're going downwards, and you look to the sides when you're, coasting towards the first drop, and so on. And it's actually really interesting. I'm really looking forward to when the HD version of it comes, and actually we'll be able to try that with a proper game where you can like fly like in Hawking. And yeah, think of just flying in that while sitting in a chair. It's going to be amazing. You really have to, if you're able to try it, you have to try it.
All right. Well, I will certainly see if there is time in my schedule to hunt one down and demo it. But okay, so let's talk about let's talk about the future of gaming. Do you remember the well, you might not. The early 90s, as I recall it was, there was a device put out by Nintendo that was the future of gaming.
The Virtual Boy.
The Virtual Boy, exactly.
Well, the reason why that wasn't the future of gaming was because it was shit. Right?
Well, true, but they did what they could with the technology of the time. I mean, you think about the games that we were playing at that point in time. We were still using LucasArts, the original Xbox the original X-Wing. God, Xbox. Oh my God. Can you tell I'm tired? No, the original X-Wing game had just come out, and if you play the original non-touched up, non-graphically enhanced version of it, like, it is absolute complete crap. The graphics are wireframe, and it just looks horrible. But it was still fun, and the Virtual Boy, despite its problems like causing headaches and migraines in people,
and only having two colors, and
it didn't even really had two colors. It had red and it had not red.
And not red was green, wasn't it?
No, not that I'm aware of. I thought it was black and then everything was wireframe red.
It may be. Yeah. Of course it was. Now I remember.
Yeah, so you only had the one color, and it added depth to it, and they did do some things that were relatively cool. I only really played the Wario game because that thing was fucking expensive, but
yeah,
I think it kind of laid the foundation for what we're seeing now.
Yes, possibly.
I mean, it was a shaky and crumbly foundation, and it wouldn't stand up to building standards. But it was at least the foundation for it.
Yeah, well, it's sort of works. I don't know how I didn't try the Virtual Boy. I'm guessing it had. Well, how did it actually, project the images? Did it do it with two identical images?
I was so enamored with the technology behind it, I never thought to figure out how it worked. Basically, no, what it did is it was two images that were slightly offset, and one went to each eye. And the reason that it caused headaches and migraines in people was because the division in that, with your eye constantly trying to compensate caused issues. I remember that now, because you stuck your face in, like, it had this whole stand that you had to have,
Yeah.
because the thing weighed like 6 pounds. It was ridiculously large for a handheld console.
Yeah.
Like, no 10-year-old kid's gonna wander around the streets of Chicago or, London holding this up, because the D-pad and buttons were also built into the headset. So you had to buy this stand for it and then put your face in, and it locked in vision between the two eyes, and or it blocked out vision between the two eyes. So your left eye saw one image, your right eye saw the other, and the juxtaposition forced your brain into thinking it was three-dimensional, and it hurt.
Oh, okay. Well, I know the Oculus Rift. It also has sort of the two images, but one of them's slightly offset, and like it's just like when you're looking with your own eyes. It's the same type of offset, so
Right.
it doesn't. You don't get a headache, but it's still disorientating for your brain.
Yeah.
You can't just. It's like being in another place for some time and then just sitting there and being able to move, and then you have to stand up again and start moving. And it's really cool. And it isn't, heavy. So, yeah. It's really
Well,
cool.
it's like I said, it's I don't know. Virtual reality is one of those things that to me, I'm excited for it, but at the same time I'm hesitant for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, people actually have to make games for it.
Well, not even necessarily that. I mean, we can port modern games into just about anything. I mean, there's guys that have done. If I can find the video for it, I'll shoot it to you and have you add it into the description. But there's a video of some guys that took Call of Duty, and they basically built a roller room. So that no matter how you were moving, you stayed in the center of this, and the whole room was basically a dome. And
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
yeah,
Was it in Battlefields?
Yeah, maybe it was Battlefield.
Yeah, it was Battlefield 3, I think.
But the at that level you're talking basic virtual reality as well. And I don't know, like I know human beings are lazy sons of bitches, and if we ever get to the point where it is easier to experience life in virtual reality, like the human world is just going to stagnate. Like everybody jokes about how awesome the holodeck would be for Star Trek, but I don't think it would be a benefit to humanity. I think we would all die.
Well, the holodeck in Star Trek would be awesome because you can actually, visit anywhere in any time and being able to do stuff there, Like
Well,
for you would be able to use it for training Bella Garth and all that.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, think of that's a perfect example. My Belagarth, my sword fighting hobbies. If I can put a quarter into the door slot and step into the holodeck and do exactly that same thing, but with historical figures, like me versus Joan of Arc, who would win? How cool would that be?
Yeah.
What impetus does that then give to the individual to go out and do it in Belagarth or the SCA? I'm trying really, really hard not to be like all naysayer and all of that, because I love the concept of virtual reality. But at the same time, if it has so much to offer, nobody's going to want to, And maybe it's just, the old goes out and the new comes in, but I don't see people wanting to go out and risk actually getting bruised or hurt because they're sword fighting when they can just do it in the safety of the holodeck or virtual reality.
Well, that's a whole discussion in itself, isn't it?
But it ties into this discussion.
Yes, but I wanted to mention something, which is,
Okay.
when new stuff like this comes out, the porn industry isn't far behind, right?
Exactly.
So
Okay.
we were discussing this. I was discussing this with a few classmates, and an interesting point came up. If you're sitting at home, watching porn with your virtual reality thing, and you have a headset on, how the hell are you supposed to know if someone enters the room? Exactly.
Ow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's an awesome idea.
yeah, that's the problem with the virtual reality glasses. With a holodeck, you would have no problems.
Okay, so point one for the holodeck, but
Yeah.
but okay, so yeah, that does raise a point. If you're engrossed in your virtual reality in your Oculus Rift, and you've got headphones on and you've got this big thing over your eyes, and granted, as human beings we have other ways of sensory instruction, but you know I can't play the Oculus Rift while walking down the street, so it's fairly limited in its applications. um what happens when somebody finds a way to port that to a modified, say, Google Glass?
You'd think you're thinking then of a peripheral that pretty much makes a holographic image in front of your eyes?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you think about what Google Glass is right now, and granted, I haven't gotten the opportunity to play around with it because I don't have a spare $1,000 kicking around, but I really like the concept of it. I wouldn't mind trying that out, but when somebody starts porting that over to Oculus Rift, there's going to be it has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential for both good and bad, I think.
Right. I have no idea how the Google Glass works, or actually I know how it works, I just don't know where it works and how you are supposed to, connect it up to the... Well, I'm guessing there's some mini SIM or micro SIM, something that you plug in, but... Will it work in any country, is the question.
I'm fairly certain it can.
Okay, well then it's no problem. But I don't think it's actually open, for the public to buy just yet.
They're still in kind of the open beta phase of it.
Well, it seems to be closed because applications for it is closed. So yeah, we'll see. That's also a thing with VR. It's going to be really interesting if Google Glasses gets implemented and it actually starts working properly, that anyone can go around wandering around with it. But I still feel like it's a bit too big.
Google Glass as opposed to Oculus Rift, too big?
Yeah, well, with
Or
the
opposed to the Virtual Boy?
you're not supposed to walk around town with an Oculus Rift, right? But with Google Glasses, you're supposed to do that. And well, it's just like glasses, isn't it? you have to have them on your head, but when this thing comes when you can just, I don't know, get an implant and attach it to your face, it would be a lot better. Yes, as
So
well.
would you be a bionic? You would go bionic if the technology was there, right?
Of course. Yeah, I would implant something as long as, there's no danger of, hurting anything. I would probably be a person that got it to have the Google glasses, like in, Deus Ex Human Revolution. That would be really cool.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm really, really, really looking forward to the Oculus Rift HD.
So what do you foresee as being the first major hit, as it were, for Oculus Rift?
You're thinking game-wise, right?
As opposed to sewing simulator?
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, the first big hit.
I mean, are people currently developing games for it?
Yes. People aren't really developing games for it. They're just making the games that they are already developing compatible with the Oculus Rift. So you would most likely see first-person games be the first ones to come out.
Well, that kind of goes without saying.
Yes, but I'm guessing first-person shooters. I can't really say which first-person shooter, but I'm guessing a first-person shooter is going to be the first really big thing that gets people into the Oculus Rift. Horror games, maybe?
Ooh.
Because horror games will probably be a big part of the Oculus Rift, because you're supposed to sit there with that on your face and headphones on. You're gonna be freaked out of your mind. So
okay, definitely not something for me.
Yeah, I'm guessing flight sims would be really cool for it. Games where you can fly in. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see what kind of concepts people come up with that will be really good for the Oculus Rift. But the thing I'm guessing now is that people aren't gonna do games exclusively for the Oculus Rift, because there may or may not be money to make in that for some time, but eventually we're probably going to see games only for the Oculus Rift, if it does well, of course.
So if games aren't going to be the primary, what is the primary focus for the Rift?
Well, games will be the primary focus. Of course, there are other things you can do with the Oculus Rift, like helping mentally ill people. You can, like, for them to experience different things, like walking out in a field or going up to the Everest or whatever. It can actually have health benefits as well for people, with mental illnesses and so on. So it can be used in a medical sense, psychological sense, all sorts of applications. So you're probably going to see the Oculus Rift being used in many different and interesting ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's also something we've already discussed at school, so it is. It's a thing that I wouldn't have thought of. Like just sitting here, I would have to research it. But yeah, the health benefits for people with mental illnesses can be extreme with it. Of course, depending on how you use it. I don't know how I would use it, but there are actually people at this school that are studying, health related programs.
So I guess we could probably use it as a brainwashing tool as well. So propaganda.
Of course, the loud music using images, strapping that on is a lot better than just having a screen.
Yeah. Okay. So again, it has potential health benefits and potential scary benefits if put into the wrong hands. But what else doesn't?
Yes.
What do you see as being beyond the Rift?
What are you thinking of there?
Well, I mean, we now have a apparently accessible, less expensive headset. What do you see as being or do you know of anybody that's working on the next version of the Oculus Rift?
Well,
Like contacts, or I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but
well, the thing is, you'd probably have a sort of a peripheral. Of course, this would be limited usage, but you could have a peripheral that would detect the environment, right?
okay.
And compute really fast to make it into looking in like something else, adding obstacles, whatever. Like if you were in a huge convention hall that was completely empty, you could have a FPS battle, for example, with a lot of people having that thing on their head, with proper 3D. I don't know. That would probably be the next step, maybe.
Okay,
After
so more.
that, you'd probably have to go over to holographic. And then over to, physical holographic stuff. Or possibly, tapping directly into the brain where you sleep and play, whatever. So,
that sounds fun. But,
yeah. So there are a lot of different things that can be done, but of course there are technological limitations as of now. We may see it in the future. We'll see. Anything can pop up. People have really good imaginations.
You mean Gene Roddenberry had a really good imagination?
Maybe.
Well, sorry, that was kind of a crack at the fact that like everything in modern science today is basically built out of the science fiction of like Isaac Asimov and
Yeah.
Gene Roddenberry, etc. Like Gene Roddenberry invented the iPad and the cell phone, and Asimov invented the calculator. Like all of the stuff that they wrote about, oh, this would be a cool way to do blah, and now we have it. So yeah, read your sci-fi to find out what's coming next.
Yes, because a lot of stuff in sci-fi actually is correct.
Science was the big part of it.
Yeah, you can often see what kind of technology comes next from that, because that's just people having their imagination, and if one person can think of it, more people can.
Well,
So,
and finding ways to do it. I mean, they've already established that teleportation is actually possible.
Yes.
Which is really cool. Like, granted, we can't send organic material at the moment, but that's just a minor thing.
Quantum tunneling.
How cool would that be?
Right, we're getting way too sciencey.
Oh yeah, too sciencey.
Yeah,
we're talking about tapping directly into the brain.
That's already been done with blind people.
Yeah.
Getting their sights back using cameras. Go on. So we can tap into people's brains, but it takes a lot of time to be actually able to do it properly. We'll probably see it eventually. Probably.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, good.
All right. So what's next?
Right. Let's discuss some news.
Okay.
Let me just begin with my one thing that I remembered was of some interest. The Nintendo 2DS?
Do-do-do-do.
Very unnecessary. But the thing with the 2DS, I can do the Nintendo 2DS is a really weird thing that Nintendo came up to be a low price alternative to the 3DS. And it doesn't have 3D since it's called the 2DS, and it's probably more suited for children because people have reported a lot of headaches with the 3DS as well.
Right.
And the 2DS doesn't have the 3D at all, and it's a lot cheaper, so it's probably going to be better for children to use. You know, if you break it, it's not the end of the world.
Right. Well, what's the price point on it?
I have no idea. I just know that it's supposedly gonna be cheap. Has it been released? No, probably not.
It's about
October
110
12th.
pounds in the UK.
So around $40. Yeah.
$40 for the system?
Well, what did you say? £110?
£110 or $130.
$130. Wow, Well, of course, I did the conversion the opposite way.
Oh.
So yeah. That's not gonna be all that expensive. Well,
I guess it's
for the
only
UK
$30 cheaper
users-
than it's only $30 cheaper than the 3DS.
yeah. I don't know. It's probably not worth it for most gamers. Just
It's
buy
a
the
Nintendo
3DS.
DS.
Just buy the 3DS and don't use the 3D. You get a flip thing and it's a lot smaller. Or 30% smaller. So, yeah. Get that. Yeah,
So yeah,
I don't know.
for kids it might be a good thing, but
Yeah, it's probably just the same thing as the 3DS, but different. Just some slight tweaks. I don't know.
okay.
I don't see the reason for it, but that's what Nintendo have done all along. You know, they've done that with the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advanced, and so on and so on.
Right.
So yeah.
What did I have? Oh, a couple of Microsoft things cropped up recently. On the first hand, their marketing has been hilarious. I don't know if you've seen any articles or anything like that, but like their PR stint has been we're better than the PS4. Like, you know how usually when they do stuff like that, it's usually sideways on. You know, when PS4 announced their price point, they were like, yes, we're only going to be blah. And they never actually mentioned the Xbox. Well, Xbox is actually mentioning the PS4 and is like putting out press releases. You know, the PS4 is 30% less powerful than the Xbox One. And it's like, oh, great. I'm totally going to trust you to tell me about your competitor. But other than that amusing anecdote, Games for Windows Live is being deleted next year, July 1st. Windows has decided to put the kibosh on it. But to kind of make up for that, they've already killed or they're going to be killing the Windows Games for Windows Live marketplace. So no more Microsoft version of Steam. But to make up for that, they hired Jason Holtman, who was kind of an integral part of Steam's success for Valve. So that's going on.
Okay, yeah, I've seen some stuff like this. they've done some slight errors when they respond to users. Like, if I have a phone, I can purchase that game and my Xbox will start up. Like if people ask, how will I be able to use my phone to activate my Xbox at home to download? And Microsoft responds, yes, you can use your phone to purchase a game, and then your Xbox at home will start up and download the game from its low power mode. Right? And what is low power mode?
Low power mode is basically your screensaver on your computer.
Yes. And this is how PS4 or the PlayStation people do, Sony. They go, yes, you can purchase a game on your PSP or whatever, and your PS4 at home will start up and download it, and when it's finished, it will shut off.
Yeah, I can see that being the responsible way to do it.
Yes, because the error that Microsoft does is they tell you more than they need to. The general public shouldn't know that there is a low power mode.
Well, if you think about it, the PS4 thing is basically going to be the same. Like there's no way that you can like
yes, it will be the same.
Yeah.
It will be the same thing. It's just the thing that you're not supposed to mention it. Anyone that has an interest in learning how it works can of course look it up. But you don't want to tell the general public that, now do you?
Well, yes and no. Like, I can see it going both ways. As I listen to both of those, I can see Microsoft's attempt to be more upfront and honest with its potential consumers, given the fiasco that they've had. On the other hand, I could also, if I was, super cynical, I could see the PS4 version of that statement being misleading. When I buy something on my phone, my PS4 is going to automatically know it and it's going to power on and download. No, obviously it's going to have power going to it the entire time, and there's going to be something in the NIC and in the OS that's going to be listening for heartbeats from the servers saying, oh, hey, Reverend DS bought, God of War 9 and you need to start downloading it. So it's two different approaches to it in general.
Yes. But as far as I know, there's I can't remember the name of the guy, but some sales dude for people. So he might be some sort of CEO at some place. But he has a tendency of... It's actually a really good one. People ask him questions over Twitter and he answers them. Like, ask me a question. Yes, ask me any question.
How long is a US dollar bill?
Ask me a question I would know.
What's your favorite additive in coffee?
Caffeine.
Okay.
Like if you ask him like, will the PS4 have Blu-ray accessibility? He will answer, yes.
Now, do you think it's actually him, or do you think it's like a bot?
I do think it's him, because if it's not a yes or no question, he will answer it very shortly, He will not say anything that he doesn't need to say. But that's
but
where
you can do
Microsoft
that
goes
with a
wrong,
bot.
because, well, Microsoft goes on and on, right? They just pile on with information that they don't need to say.
Yeah, okay.
That's my take on how Microsoft does their marketing. They talk too much. Well,
something about no bad press or something like that.
yes. So,
all right.
that's the thing.
Time limit wise, we're hitting about an hour now, aren't we?
Probably.
Okay. I apologize. I forgot to start my Audacity before we started recording, so I don't have the my timeline.
No worries. We're closing up on 55 minutes, I think.
Okay. So next up.
Do we have any more news?
I really don't. I could probably drag for some, but
Nah, let's not do that. Let's just go over to... I'll reformat this question. Will you play anything this week?
Will I play anything this week is a definite, I have no idea, but we'll see maybe.
Okay, what would you play if you have time?
Today I'm actually aiming to complete my third run through of Splinter Cell Blacklist. Just trying to finish up the various difficulties on that. I'm currently on the medium size difficulty, and then I think I'm going to jump straight to perfectionist, where you're not allowed to be seen, etc. It's really fucking difficult. If I don't go that route, I'm probably going to play Ghostbusters, the video game. It's basically the third or fourth Ghostbusters movie, but in video game form. Played it years ago. It was a lot of fun, and it just seems like something silly and mindless that I can engage in without having to stress about my performance.
All right. Sounds good. I'll probably be playing XCOM. Maybe Dota. I haven't played it in over a month.
Getting rusty.
I've even deleted it because, well, it was just taking space. Probably some Europe Universalis. Maybe Arma 3. And a bunch of other games that I'll just probably pick up and play. Like Homeworld 2, I think I'm going to start up and try and learn so I can actually play it multiplayer with a couple of friends.
Okay.
Without getting wrecked. So, yeah.
Alright, sounds like a potentially busy week.
Yeah, and other than that, I'll probably be playing some board games through the week and maybe some role-playing as well. I don't know.
And I assume that you're in the midst of all of this gaming, finding time to do your homework, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not really... Right now, it's not all that hard. When I have to start focusing more, I'll start focusing more. But until then, there's no need to stress.
Alright.
So yeah.
I just worry about you. I know the whole college experience, so...
Well, I only have 3 classes, so...
Oh, okay.
It's not... I'm going to have 3 classes for all the semesters, so it's not a big worry. So it's not going to be all that hard. Well, I do still have to go to class and all... well, not really class, the lectures. And, yeah. It's going to be fun.
Cool. Alright, what else do we got?
Do you really have anything? I was going to say, thanks for watching. Yeah.
And listening, for those of you. But,
yes.
yeah. Thanks, Time to Live podcast. Check us out at Almighty Quad on YouTube or TTLpodcast.com. And, yeah, we'll talk to you guys when our schedules allow.
Yes, hopefully it won't be another month. But yeah, this has been a fun episode, so I hope we do it more, and yeah, see you next time.
Bye.